I left my wife because she couldn't get over her parents dying, and I don't feel guilty about it. I know exactly how that sounds. Believe me, I've heard it all. My sister won't talk to me anymore. My friends think I'm heartless, and Lisa's family treats me like the worst person alive. But none of them lived with her for 9 months after the accident. None of them saw what I saw every single day. Her parents died in a car crash last December, 3 days before Christmas. It was devastating for everyone. I expected grief, crying, depression, all the normal reactions when you lose both parents suddenly. I took 2 weeks off work, handled funeral arrangements, dealt with insurance and lawyers. I drove her to therapy twice a week for months. I thought I was being supportive. The first few months were exactly what you'd expect. Lisa cried constantly, barely ate, couldn't sleep through the night. She'd wake up screaming from nightmares about the crash. I held her through panic attacks, made sure she took medication, tried to keep her functioning. It was heartbreaking but felt like normal grief. Then things started changing in ways that didn't make sense. She began having full conversations with her dead parents. Not occasional talks that some grieving people do, but detailed discussions where she'd pause like she was listening to responses. I'd find her setting 3-place settings at dinner every night. When I asked why, she'd look at me like I was stupid and say Mom and Dad were joining us. She'd serve food on their plates, get angry when I suggested not wasting food. Her therapy sessions stopped helping. The counselor said Lisa was resistant to accepting reality. She'd come home furious, saying the therapist didn't understand that her parents were still around. She started buying their favorite foods during grocery trips: Dad's beer, Mom's yogurt, snacks they used to love. She'd fly into rages when I ate these items, screaming that I was stealing from her parents. Month 4, she started going to their old house, the one sold to strangers in February. She'd sit in the driveway for hours, sometimes trying her old key. The new owners called police twice. I had to explain to confused officers that my wife was grieving and temporarily confused, but it kept escalating instead of improving. She moved into their old guest bedroom in our house, the room we'd kept decorated how her parents liked it. Every night I'd hear her having elaborate conversations, laughing and crying with people who weren't there. She started writing letters to them, asking when they were coming home, begging them to take her with them. She'd mail these to their old address, confusing the new residents. Month 7, she booked airline tickets to visit their graves in Michigan, but she bought 3 tickets. When the airline called about the error, she screamed for 20 minutes, insisting her parents needed seats too. I tried everything. Different therapists, grief counselors, support groups, medication changes. Nothing worked. The conversations with her dead parents became constant. She'd get violent if I interrupted them or suggested they weren't real. Month 8, I found notebooks hidden in her closet, pages of detailed conversations she claimed to have with them. But these weren't just grief fantasies. The conversations contained specific information I'd never told her. Private details about my work, my family, things her parents couldn't possibly have known when they were alive. The final entry was different. She'd written about how they'd revealed something important about their accident, something that changed everything about their deaths. That's when I discovered the real reason Lisa couldn't let her parents go.